In this document, you can see what the difference is between the classical period, medieval period, and Renaissance in regard to artworks and the purposes of art. And I don't know who have wrote this document, but of course you can see here the domain name and the web link, so you could find out for yourself who it is and more. But it is very interesting because if it is like that, how this person is writing it, you can see here that the forms of art and their purposes. Here you see that the purpose in the classical period, which is 500 before Christ, is called the classical period. The purpose of art is to show the importance of people and leaders as well as gods and goddesses. But it's most likely it's the importance of people and leaders. Figures look idealized and perfect, body look active more convincingly. Bodies are often nude, sometimes draped in togas. Faced and bland are calm without emotion. Scene shows heroic figures or real people doing real tasks of daily life. Little background or sense of perspective when distant objects look smaller and far away. In the medieval period, that is between 500 and 1400, was characterized by the rise of feudalism and the controlling power of the Catholic Church in people's lives. And the forms of art and their purposes were to teach religion to people who cannot read or write. To teach religion to people who cannot read or write. So this is actually the period when came in that people are more getting influenced by the things they write and read. And it was mainly about religion, so I think the first way we saw life in new perspectives was in regards to religion. If you have to, I don't know in which context the person wrote this document, because this is of course one document, so I don't know if there are even, where is this coming from, who wrote this, and what is the idea behind it. But as you can see here, characteristics of medieval art: subjects mostly religious, figures look flat and stiff with little real movement. Important figures are large, fully clothed, draped in deeply carved, still-looking cloths. Faces are solemn with little emotion. Paintings use vibrant colors, flat two-dimensional painted figures, background single color, often gold, no interest in creating a realistic space. Well, as you can see, in the medieval period there was already way more color being used. So as you might know, there is a saying, and it is something along the lines of religion is opium for the people. And so of course bright colors we associate it with happiness, or also in science it seems that it's absorbing more light, for example neon colors. And so it is related in a way then to religion in how we see it, because if artists who have a lot of power, don't be confused about that, um, you know but most of us don't even know, because we don't know how it works, and we know not enough about semiotics and things like that, the majority. But once you know, and how important it is, like the symbolism we see daily and how we interpret it, but most people are just taking it for granted and take it for the truth. That's, I think, also the difference between artists and people who are not so much focused on art. Because yeah, it does tell you something about you as a human being, because pictures just simply have a lot of influence on our lives and how we talk with each other, what we think is strange, what we think is normal, what we think is positive, what we think is negative. And of course religion came in that time with a lot of, about the good and the bad, and so it does come with a feeling of ecstasy in a way. So it's just, it's just interesting to read here that this person is writing here, the writer is writing about the period, the medieval period there, where the art became more the paintings of the use of paintings, the colors were more vibrant, and also gold was being used during medieval period, which you don't see in the classical period. As far as they have been writing it down, no gold in the classical period, but it's something to find out. So this could be a real cool topic to make a video around. But in any case, it is all together in the same time. So it's all together, like the vibrant colors and also a little bit more movement in the paintings, which is also maybe for some people maybe a little scary in that time, because can you imagine that you don't know yet what television is or what internet is, but you see people moving on a screen, right? So that's quite magical to see in the first place if you've never seen that before. So I think that of course, movement is also in a way about emotion. That's also how we, say it, emotion. So, and that's also what you see right here. So it becomes all a little connected. So is it true or not? Because a lot of things in life are not so logical. So is this, a way to easier, just to remember things easier about history? Because of course we were not there, otherwise we were already dead by now, because a human being cannot live that long as far as we know. So as you can see here in the Renaissance period between 1400 and 1650, the purposes of art is more to show people the importance of people and nature, not just religion. And it seems that medieval period seemed to have a huge impact, had a huge impact on us as human beings. Maybe classic period as well, but maybe we do not recognize it so much because maybe it was just less obvious what they showed in their paintings, because you see that again in medieval, but just with more things added to it. And in the Renaissance period, you see that the importance of people and nature and not just religion. So I think also that it's fun, it's funny to see here in this table or schedule of this person who created this, that it's shifting to nature again. So it's going from the classical period, it's going to gods and goddesses, which is of course also already a bit religious. I don't know what kind of gods and goddesses, because they're also naming leaders in the same sentence. But it shifts from leaders to religion to beliefs, a belief system. So leaders, people who are making you doing things, to showing you what's best to do, to teach you how to do and how to think. And manipulative, more medieval period seems to be more manipulative in a way, because we could write and read in that time as human beings. And in the Renaissance period, you see that the purpose of art was more to show the importance of people and nature, just not religion. So I think also you can see there that there is like a need for finding more than only that religion and leaders. So leaders and religion were not the only thing anymore. They went back to nature in a way. Maybe nature can give us the answers. So that's how I read it, and that's how you could read it. I'm human being too, so it's possible that you read it in the same way, but it's also possible that you don't, because you maybe have not informed yourself in the same ways as I did, which is a big chance, has a big chance. So characteristics of Renaissance arts, both religious and non-religious. So as you can see, in the medieval period it was mostly religious, and in the Renaissance period it's both. It's non-religious and religious. And I think in all periods, the figures looked idealized and perfect, except for the medieval period. I think the medieval period is maybe the time where people learn to fear something. Because church is about good and bad, the art seems to be quite intense with vibrant colors and more, detail, more emotion. And in the Renaissance, they're stepping a bit back from that and uh, getting it more to, you also can see here real people are doing real tasks of daily life. So just daily things got uh, painted by artists. Faces express what people are thinking, so there's more interest in people and their face and what it means, and so probably a bit more empathy in a way in the Renaissance. Colors respond to light that falls on them. Yeah, so there's more detail. So what you also can see is that it's almost like a journey of human beings in the things they've learned throughout the year. So maybe like a time zeitgeist, something like that, like what your ancestors learned from human beings and life and this life on earth. That because of course those people from 500 before Christ didn't live anymore in 1400 and 1650, right? So so how do they knew that? Of course, by those books maybe and everything. But I think also it is something, within human beings, because you simply cannot learn that much in a human life, that you know all that information from the past. So how could they have known, right? Maybe I'll go a little bit too deep. Maybe it's going a bit too deep in 12 minutes right now in this document someone has been writing. But I find this a very interesting document. Or yeah, how do you say that? A form, or someone writing something down about these periods. Um, so yeah, you see more empathy. So it seems also that empathy was just simply not so much being focused on in the past. Is that because they already had it, because they already knew what it was about, or is it because they learned about it, or is it both? I think myself, what I think is that they knew beforehand, because if you start to read and write, there's a lot of things that you learn, but there's also a lot of things that you forgot because of it. Because as you can see, they say that some autistic people, that they know different things, or they lose certain qualities or something when they start to read or write. Or how was it again? Well, it's interesting just that to see like different types of people, whatever, those labels and everything. I still think we're that's also very much, Carl Jung is also a very long time ago that he was alive. So, I think it's all, all the psychologists and everything, that is just far back in time what they're, in the way they're thinking. But as you can see here, there's quite also in the classical period, medieval period, and Renaissance, there's quite a lot of changes in the art. So also in people's mindset, probably, as you can read. Uh, in any case, the artists, because they painted things different. So it is a huge, art is so important. Art is, you see those developments, how fast it goes, you know. So by painting themselves, by creating, by observing, by living their lives and trying to catch it in a painting, try to portray it, try to find a way to express that in images, in imagery, and how fast that is developing. People, in those times paintings were also not something that everybody had. A painting was quite a a valuable piece of, artwork, valuable valuable things. They also used even gold in their paintings. So quite valuable. And so yeah, it's just interesting. And in Renaissance they started to paint symmetrical. And so yeah, are we still in that time, that's beauty?